Hey guys, Ross Tritipo with CitruScrub Carpet Cleaning here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yesterday, I posted a salacious hit piece entitled 10 Things I Hate About My Butler. So today is 10 Things I Love About My Butler, because fair is fair. There is a loser with a leaf blower next door, so I apologize for the noise you might hear. I'm also filling my water tank right now, so you might hear some noise in the background from that. Let's go in descending order again. Top 10 things I love about my Butler. Number 10 is just the sheer impressiveness of it. Customers once in a while will come out and peek in the van, and they always remark about how good everything looks. They're surprised by the sheer amount of equipment that's in here. And I don't mean my equipment, my tools and stuff, just all, the water tanks, the machine itself, all the shelving in the back. They just are impressed by all the stuff that's in here. And it makes me look really professional, because I'm not a bum driving around in a Chevy Astro with all my tools rolling around on the floor. This thing lets people know that you mean business, and I like it. Number 9 is customer service. And I'm not going to talk about performance type stuff. I think that's boring. Most modern machines perform just fine. So I'm going to talk about stuff that I think actually matters, okay? So number 9, customer service. Yeah, a lot of companies have good customer service, but Butler is far and away just really good. I'm not going to say they're the best. I don't know. That's subjective, isn't it? But I can tell you a couple stories. Number 1, I'm from Indianapolis. I hate the Patriots, which makes me hate Boston. So when I call up there and those guys answer the phone, I always get like a shock to my system, because Butler's in Massachusetts, right? And they answer the phone with this thick Boston accent, and I think we're going to throw down. We're going to fight. But those guys are always super helpful and super nice. Also, too, as well, in addition, this van doesn't even have 3,000 miles on it yet, but about a month ago, it was leaking a little oil, and one of the head gaskets was bad. So you think, oh, great, warranty issue, right? Let's go get it fixed for free. The dealership said, ooh, sorry, you've got all this extra equipment added in here, and we don't think that you have a warranty on this van. And I says to him, yeah, I do. Because guess what? The Butler owner's manual explains that when they developed all of this, they talked to GM and got approval to add all of this stuff into GM vans, and it doesn't void any of the warranty. So GM Corporate in Detroit knows what a Butler is. They have a relationship with Butler. So I asked my local dealership here, they were kind of scared I wouldn't have a warranty, to just call Butler and talk to him about it. And Butler took the time to talk to my dealership rep 800 miles away. Got it all squared away, and the head gasket was fixed under warranty. Maybe other companies would do that, I don't know, but I just appreciate that Butler does it. And if you ever have a problem with your machine, you just call them, they talk you through it over the phone, and they get you back on the road. And they're super nice, even though they're probably horrible Patriots fans, which makes me think they're probably a bunch of sinners. Number 8, this is kind of dumb, but I gotta tell you about it. I love these black bungees that Butler gives you when you get a new van. I have looked everywhere for these. I don't know where they buy them. You think they're just a simple little thing, and I can't find them on Amazon. I can't find them at Menards. I can't find them at Lowe's, Home Depot. The only place I've ever seen these exactly like this is from Butler. They're just the right length. I love these little metal hooks. They fit through all kinds of stuff. And these are the best bungee cords I have ever encountered in my life. I have dreams about these bungee cords. Going on vacation and strapping a bunch of crap down. And I don't know where else to find them. You only get them from Butler. Number 7 is quirkiness. Just everything about Butler is just unique and quirky. They do all this weird stuff nobody else does. Look at this. Who puts a stair tool in its own little bracket like that on the floor. It even sits in this weird little base. I don't know, I should have thought ahead and had some better ideas for you. I can show you some quirky stuff. Look at the doghouse that the machine sits in. Who designed that? It's just so weird. You don't ever see anything else like this in the industry. It's got this flip top. They got all this maintenance stuff on there. Their chemical injection system is weird. Nobody else uses anything like that. Oh, you want a light? Okay, yeah, let's put a light under here. Nobody else does anything like that. That's just Butler quirkiness. Ooh, and the ultimate quirk. You will crap your pants when you see this. If you need to work on this machine and you don't remember how stuff is routed and how it's plumbed, look at that. There's like this pull down. It's like one of the old style shades that your mom and dad had in the late 70s or early 80s. Or like one of the Three Stooges ties. You know, you pull it out and whoosh, flips back up there. That's just Butler quirkiness. I like it. It's just weird, and I like weird stuff. Number 6, Metalwork. Now we're just going to totally geek out. Butler owns their own fab shop, and they build a whole lot more stuff than just carpet cleaning stuff. But it's just so cool. You know, everything in here is made out of metal, and they're not sourcing this stuff from China or Mexico. They're making it locally in their own shop. It's all their own design. If their engineers want something made, they draw it up, and the fab shop down the street can build it. And it is top notch. I dare you to find a weld on these tanks. You can't even find the welds. It's just like sheer perfection everywhere you look. The tanks are awesome. They're bulletproof. They're stainless steel, and then they make all this. The hose reel's all aluminum. They make all that. Really good welds on aluminum too. That's hard. All the shelving, everything is just perfect. So if you geek out about metalwork, you'll love a Butler. Number 5, it's quiet. It is a very quiet van, and making it even more quiet is this little port here on the door. You can open this crap up and run your hoses through that, and then close the side door, and all of the noise is confined to the inside if you want it to be super quiet. I don't always do that because it's not the most convenient thing, but if I start a job early in the morning, 8 a.m. or something, I don't want to make the neighbors mad, yeah, I'll route the hose through there and close the door, and it is just super quiet. Most of the noise comes out on the other side. I'll show you. Which, by the way, I didn't put this as one of my top 10s, but I should have. Look how freaking cool that stainless steel blower muffler is. Nobody else has one of those. And guys at the gas station and stuff, they'll come up and be like, "Hi man, what are you running in that Chevy van, man? You got a 454 in there? What's up with that stainless exhaust?" And then I tell them it's actually an exhaust for the vacuum blower in there. But anyways, back on track, we're on a tangent. That vacuum blower exhaust is where all the noise comes out. So if I do need to be quiet, I just kind of try to like aim that elsewhere so it's not gonna make a neighbor mad or something. Oh God, what a tangent. Let's just stop talking about this, all right? Number 4, everything has its place. I already showed you this weird little thing, and I'll never even use that. I don't even like that tool. It's dumb. But it has its own little home. I would feel bad if I took it out of there. So I just keep it there and I just look at it. And there's just all kinds of weird stuff like that. I'll show you the ultimate weirdness right here. There are these little pins here, so you can put them in, let's see, I'll take one out of there. You can put them in these holes so that your side door doesn't slide around. Like if you're on a hill, which, A, whoever even thinks of something that weird? I mean, it's super awesome. And then B, they found these little clips to keep the pins in. I mean, who thinks of stuff like that? That's pretty cool, right? So everything has its place. Here, sir. Please, place your wand in this handy bracket that we fabricated for you. And the more you look at a Butler, the more stuff like that you notice. There's just like perfect little places to put everything. Number 3 is the fit and finish. A Butler machine looks like it is supposed to be in your van. When you open the door and you look in here, you would think that this came straight from the Chevy dealership. I keep saying Chevy, it's actually a GMC, but same diff. It just looks like it came from the dealership this way. Everything is just perfect. The way the shells fit over the wheel, where the wheel wells in there kind of protrude up through the floor. The shelves are built around those. All the brackets back in there, they fabricate to hook to the that rail up there to stabilize all the weight. Just a lot of fit and finish. I don't have it on this van, but Butler will also install insulation in these open panels, and it hides all the wires and it insulates the van and it deadens sound. And I mean, you're talking next level at that point. I think Mark Sager has it in his, and at least one of his vans. It looks so good. You talk about fit and finish. I mean, that is when you're really talking like it looks like it came from the factory. All right, on another tangent. Number 2, I said I wouldn't talk about performance, but I'm allowed to break my own rules. And what I really like about my Butler number 2 here is the insane heat. Insane for a power takeoff machine. I know some of you guys with Aerotex or whatever are getting a lot more heat. I used to have a Vortex. I used to run 280. I'm kind of over all that. The Butler will consistently run 240 out here at the machine. No problem. And what's impressive about that is the more you flow through the machine, the hotter the water gets. Most other machines are the exact opposite. And it's flowing somewhere around 5 gallons per minute, I believe. You know, it's like 4.8 or 5.3 or something. I just remembered in my stupid brain that forgets everything, 5 gallons per minute. So that's what I'm going to go with. But that's a decent amount of water. And it's not so much the flow, it's the frequency. Even if you are on the trigger constantly, like you're using a rotary machine and you're just on the trigger and you never let go, it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter until you're burning the crap out of your leg, you're burning your hands, all of the fittings are just like scorching hot. Would probably kill a baby if one came along and touched it. And it's just super impressive. Butler's system isn't unique. A lot of companies are doing this now, but to heat the water, if you don't know, first they route coolant lines from the actual GMC engine. They route them back, and then they come up through the floor back here and go to a heat exchanger that's back there underneath this doghouse. And that heats the water in the first stage. Then they also trap the exhaust from the vacuum blower, which if you've never seen one, it's a giant hunk of iron that's got like 2 propellers inside that spin and create vacuum, and it is viciously powerful. It will literally suck your eyeball out of your head. But when you move that much air that fast, it creates friction, and of course friction creates heat, and they trap the heat from the blower exhaust, and they use that to further heat the water. So back in the day when you had a power takeoff system like a Butler or a Hydromaster CDS or an old Steam Genie or a White Magic or whatever, when I got in this business, they were only doing the first stage. This is in the late 90s, where they were just using those coolant lines to heat your cleaning water. And then somewhere in the earlier mid-2000s, somebody came up with the idea, and my history could be wrong, I don't know, but someone came up with the idea to trap that blower exhaust too. And several companies do it. Butler's not the only one. But it's a really good idea, and it bumps you up from like 180 at the machine to like 240 at the machine. It is some serious heat for a PTO. But what I do think is unique about Butler is how it stays that hot even when you are flowing absolutely unruly amounts of water. I mean, you could clean all day with a Rotovac and be on the trigger the entire time, and you're going to keep 240 out here at the machine, and inside at the tool where you're cleaning it's going to be super hot too. Number one thing I love about my Butler is the resale value. I've sold 2 Butlers. I've made horrific profit on both of them that I'm not even going to talk about because you guys will be embarrassed. You'll be embarrassed for me. It was obscene amounts of money selling 2 used Butlers that I had in the past. So there is a market for these things, and I didn't price gouge either. I just sold them for what they were worth. If you've got a Butler and you want to sell it, clean it up a little bit, put an ad on Facebook Marketplace, maybe Craigslist, and it'll be gone in 48 hours. I'm not exaggerating. Even if you've got an old junker that's half rusted apart, somebody will buy it. Or if you've got a new one, you're underwater, you can't make the payment, somebody will buy it, even if you're asking $65,000, $70,000. If that's what it's worth, it'll be gone. Maybe that's true of other machines, I don't know. But to me, I think the complete package of a Butler, the fit and finish, the reputation, the heat, the power, the ease of use, the customer service, all of that stuff adds up and gives you excellent resale value. So, I think you should go out and get a Butler today. Order one today. Also, the video I made yesterday, 10 things I hate about my Butler, check that out. It's mostly tongue-in-cheek, but if you're considering getting one, you should probably watch it. There are a few annoying little things about it. But, best machine I've ever used, and this is coming from a guy who's used Hydromasters, Steam Genies, Vortex, all kinds of crap, and out of all those, I love my Butler the most. And right now, I'm gonna go make out with it. Right up the tailpipe. Edit, 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 edit. I forgot to tell you something I have to add on to this video. When I got this Butler, it only had a solution reel. It did not have this double reel where your fill hose is down here, the garden hose, where you fill the water tank. And that's for scrubs. That's for weirdos. That's for hobos. You have to have a reel for your garden hose. I mean, seriously. I am not going to hang 100 feet of garden hose on a hook somewhere. What is this, Soviet Russia? You have to have a reel for that garden hose. So I called Butler and I says to him, I says, guys, I cannot use this van with this, with no reel for my garden hose. I mean, I'm ready to jump off a cliff here. And they says to me, they says, well, you can get a double hose reel that is designed to work with the mid-mount tanks like you have. So I ordered it. I mean, it was $1,600, I think, after shipping, but totally worth it. And the cool thing about Butler, they're just so smart. Everything they do is smart. It's the same footprint. I was afraid I'd have to drill holes in the floor, but it's the exact same footprint. The 4 bolts just go in the 4 holes that were there for the original hose reel. How easy is that? But what I wanted to show you, off on another tangent, this should go with the section of the video where I was talking about fit and finish. When I installed this double hose reel, I thought, there is no way that thing's going to fit in there. There's just no way. I want you to just look at the tolerance there. Look at that. Celebrate that. Revere the wisdom of the Butler engineers. I mean, what would you say that is? Maybe 1/8 of an inch? Look how close the back of that reel is to the water tank. And so it actually did fit in there, and I was surprised. And I thought, well, fine, it fits in there, but when I reel it up, it's going to shake around, and it's going to bang against that water tank, and I'm going to get mad, and I'm going to kick stuff. But guess what? Even though I have the spirit of 10 men with extreme power, and I'm reeling that up with extreme, unruly power, and the hose is flopping around everywhere, and I'm putting as much strength as I can into reeling this up, it doesn't budge at all. The back of the reel never touches the water tank. I was afraid that it would rub off all the powder coating back there and it would look all ugly. Nope, does not touch. Now that is some fit and finish. Seacrest out.